Namaste. Welcome to lecture number 2 for Eastern Meditation for Peace and Power. We discussed about the word meditation in the first lecture, the different types of meditation, and also did a small exercise. Now secondly, in this section, we will learn to use our breath in order to meditate or in order to change our states of mind. First of all, what we have to understand is that human beings are thinking creatures. We cannot stop thinking. Try it for a while. If you could, do comment and tell us how you did it, but I'm sure most of us couldn't. It's because we are designed in such a way that we are identified with the mind. We think that we are our mind, hence we cannot stop thinking. That's not the problem though. Thinking leads to feeling, and feelings lead you to do different actions. If you are thinking a good thought, you start feeling good, and then you do a positive action. If you are thinking a lot of negative thoughts, you start feeling negative and you do a negative action. If somebody creates an obstacle on your journey to get something, you start thinking bad things, and that creates anger in you. And when you're angry, you react accordingly. That is the default state of mind with everybody. But how do we change that? How do we keep our emotions in our hands? How do we keep our feelings in our hands? And eventually, how do we keep our thoughts in our hands? We have to understand it this way. Thoughts are superficial, feelings and emotions are more subtle. We will try to work with feelings and emotions so that it automatically positively affects our thoughts. The next thing to understand, the next thing to acknowledge is when feelings and emotions are created inside you, they change chemical compositions inside you. Say the release of dopamine or serotonin. These secretion of chemicals lead to your body functioning differently than it would normally, which in turn results in the change of your breathing pattern. Let me make this more simpler. If you are angry, you're starting to breathe more shallow and more quickly, whereas if you're peaceful, you're breathing more deeply at a slower rate. That's an assignment for you. Identify your different feelings and how the different feelings are related to your breath. How are you breathing when you're happy? How are you breathing when you're sad? How are you breathing when you're scared? How are you breathing when you're jealous, perhaps? How are you breathing when you're in a state of giving? How are you breathing when you see your loved ones? How are you breathing when you see your crush? Those are different states of mind, and they all carry with them their own state of breathing, their own pattern of breathing. Now that we have understood that the tool, the key to our emotions, our feelings and our thoughts is our breath, now we can use this tool, use this key in order to change our state of mind. And what does a sane human being want in life? He or she wants to be calm, peaceful, and happy as much as possible. This can be done through the breath. We will be practicing this in our next lecture.